honeysuckle soup on a hot summer day. Coffee comes back in a nerve-wracking way. The dishes and laundry take the garbage out. What a day, what a day, what
Oh, I'm ready. Well, my agent won't let me say that. I do. Oh, yes. Well, we'll talk about that. Right. The bees. Yes, I'm a terrible beekeeper. No, no, I got the indolent bees. Yes, they just don't seem to. Wait, oh, we do. I mean, I live on a farm, but last winter was terrible for all the beekeepers in my area, and I lost all of my hives. I'd gotten up to it's the bees just fail. I mean, no, the queen's still there, but they don't get enough food, or disease takes over. They are the populations have been pesticides exactly. So I had 8 hives last summer. I had 3 hives going into the winter. The honey is delicious, and I'll explain why I don't have any for you a little later. And this year I started with 2 hives, and there's a way where you can persuade the bees to make more queens and thus make more colonies. Well, this year they're not cooperating at all. So I'm still working on it, but what I'm trying to do is just build up population so I can get through the winter.
Can you show the photo of his colonies there? There they are.
Yes, there's there the top photo is what I have now. That's 2 hives and 4 nukes, and on the bottom right, I'm examining the one of the hives, and then on the bottom left, that's when the bees said, "Get out of here," and I listened.
Yeah, it's interesting. I'll tell you a quick story, which we have discussed. I was at a party, and somebody gave me a plant, and I saw he was giving me squash. And I said, no, it's an eggplant. And I said, it doesn't look like an eggplant. I said, no, it's an eggplant. And I cut it open, and there's squash seeds inside. So I'm thinking the bees, they must have had the squash close to the eggplant. And they cause colony. Is that possible?
I wouldn't blame the bees. I think that's just the plants themselves. Oh, I suppose though the bees are carrying that pollen, so they maybe that's why I'm having. They're just completely. They're not only indolent, they're confused. It's a hard life being a bee. Being a male bee is not a good thing. The male bee exists for one function and one function only. That's it, and dies in the process of succeeding at that exactly. But the male bees, the drones, they don't feed themselves. They don't do any work in the hive. They have to be careful. They absolutely. So when the cold weather comes, the workers, the female bees, will do things like bite the wings off of the males and push them out to die. No, no, it's a bee eat bee world out there.
So tell me, and you're also a chef. Tell me about your cooking.
Well, I started cooking professionally because, as a would-be actor, I realized I was going to. Well, also you'd have to end up working in the restaurant business, and
Every actor's a waiter.
I spent some time as a waiter and decided that I didn't want to deal with the public quite so closely, and went into the kitchen instead, which was terrific. It was a wonderful thing to learn. And in fact, my wife was also a professional chef, although we never worked in a restaurant together. And since we met and married, have decided we'd rather be married to each other than to the business.
Yeah, well, sometimes that's difficult.
Oh, it takes its toll on marriages.
Yeah, it does.
But we do some catering. We're doing a party this weekend, and we cater for people we like.
Yeah. So, what is your favorite type of food to cook?
Oh my!
I mean, I always ask the chef that because I'm sure you got favorites. You got, oh, gosh, I gotta make mac and cheese. You know.
Well, I get on certain obsessions from time to time. So I went through a period of learning how to cook Moroccan and how to cook Thai food, and how to get even better at Northern Italian cooking. And so it's sort of whatever's come under my.
For you.
Yeah. But
I spent a weekend trying to perfect the perfect Reuben.
really,
And I'm telling you, I never ate so many Reubens in my life.
So what became the perfect Reuben?
Well, it was interesting because, first you're trying to figure, the bread. You got to get the right bread. And then the sauerkraut. And then you got to get the right meat, the corned beef, or, which kind of meat are you using in that Reuben,
And what's your preference?
Well, this was so long ago that I can't remember what we ended up with. But my ex-husband and I spent the entire weekend making Reubens, trying different, should we toast it first, should we grill it, should we panini it, what do we do with this thing? So I understand what you're saying.
Oh, yeah.
Once you get on a kick, you got to kind of keep trying.
We're doing a Civil War themed meal this weekend, and so we've been making biscuits all week. I mean, there's not going to be any hardtack on my menu, so we're trying to come up with a substitute. Yeah, so we thought some nice buttermilk biscuits, and I just saw a recipe that uses ricotta in that, and so we did that. Right. So ours is an interpretation of Civil War cuisine.
Civil War, they wouldn't have known what those Italians were using.
Exactly.
Unless they brought it over to And that's true. I mean, I went to a Civil War, but actually the video that we showed, I was at that dinner, and the food was pretty boring. I mean, sweet potatoes, some corn, biscuits, and some pudding for dessert. I mean, it was okay. But I gotta say, those colonists,
Well, I'm taking great liberties. I'm calling this a picnic of northern aggression, but I'm serving. I'm smoking a pork loin and serving it with a mango salsa and a black cherry barbecue sauce.
And I'm sure that mangoes were right on every
Just
table
on the battlefields. Yeah. Yeah.
But listen, you're going to sing a song for us, right?
Oh, I need a pianist for that.
You do?
Yeah.
You think there's a pianist in the room?
Well, if you.
I think there might be one coming on right now.
Okay.
Come on, Malcolm.
Well, this is
my associate producer.
this is an Al Jolson number because we both love old movies,
I know, I love all this.
and it salutes that. It also salutes the Capital Region.
And it is really interesting that why did they take that night?
The night boat to Albany.
Yeah.
My father used to take that with his family, but at that point he was too young to take advantage of the aspects of it that are discussed in this song.
In this song, which are a little bit,
Yeah, this is from a 1918 Broadway show called Sinbad, and then Jolson later put it in a film. Old Henry Hudson found a river that touches New York. The rest of the river is a flivver because it creates lots of talk. Summertime, that's the time spooners used to go rambling about. But now they take trips in rickety ships, and here's what I want to find out. Why do they all take the night boat to Albany? That's what's puzzling me. They all claim it's just for the sights. Just the same, they travel at nights. I asked a fellow and his cute little pet, how is the Hudson? And they answered, it's wet. So tell me, why do they all take the night boat to Albany, then grab the next train to New York? I asked my girl to take the night boat with me. She said, does this mean you're thinking of marrying me? I said, I wouldn't think of anybody else. She said, what about that actress I saw you with last week? I said, now you've got me thinking. As we got on the boat, a handsome young deckhand helped her off the gangplank. I said, do you think he was getting fresh? She said, no, but the night is young. It's so romantic out there on the water. We found two deck chairs side by side and lay there together looking up at the stars. She said, oh, do you see those stars? I thought, now's my chance. And I leaned over, and on those beautiful lips, I planted a kiss. Who would think a girl in a deck chair could deliver such an uppercut? I see them now, I told her. Seems every Tom and Dick and Harry is free of his worries and cares. They know that the Hudson steamers carry a cargo of peaches and pears, huddled and cuddled together, with no one to shout, "Cut it out!" No wonder they state, "The river is great. To me it's a river of doubt." Why do they all take the night boat to Albany? That's what's puzzling me. They all claim it's just for the sights. Just the same, they travel at nights. They shine the searchlights on the shore as they float. They ought to shine those searchlights right on the boat. So tell me, why do they all take the night boat to Albany, then grab the next train to, they're on the next train to, they grab the next train to New York? Thank you. That was a Jolson number. Sinbad was the show. Well, 1918 was a while ago. Yes.
So where do you pick the song? Because I know they do a performance called Fun Songs.
Songs to Amuse. Right. And it.
I watched your performance over in Albany at the steamer.
The steamer tent, yeah.
For 10. It was raising it one more. Anyway, it was so much fun.
Well, I discovered the songs of Flanders and Swan, Michael Flanders and Donald Swan, when I was a high school kid. I kind of gave up the idea of having a social life, and that freed me to listen to any music I wanted.
Yeah, well, that's good.
So I found these numbers, and they're just delightful songs to sing. I also became very interested in the American popular song history, and so I was discovering, the classics by Cole Porter and the Gershwins and Jerome Kern and so on. But then I was sort of gravitating to the funnier songs, the more unusual ones, because that way people don't know if I'm singing them correctly or not.
Yeah, because they make a mistake,
They wouldn't know.
Did you do about broccoli or something?
Broccoli.
About food. Did you do one of them?
Oh, I'm sure. We've been performing for over 30 years now.
And I understand you got a new project in store.
Oh, yes. Well, again, this is our. So, do you remember what movie got you into the idea of movies as, classic art? Well, it's a leading question because I'm going to answer from my own point of view. What movie got you into movies, essentially?
Well, the first movie that I really recall seeing that got me into movies as a kid was Casablanca.
Perfect.
And what's that movie? Well, there's certain movies I watch. Galaxy Quest I will always watch. If it's ever
Yeah.
I love Galaxy Quest. Always watch that one. No matter when it's on. Cat Ballou is another one. If it's on, I'm gonna watch Cat Ballou.
Nat King Cole was in that
but
one.
we have movies that if they're on, it's like, oh no, I gotta watch this.
Yeah,
It's
and
on the skating channel,
and for me it was the Maltese Falcon. So we both went in by way of Warner Brothers and Bogart and Greenstreet and Laurie.
And Peter Lorre, he was in the three of them. There was a trailer.
Yeah.
They were good together.
Oh yeah. Greenstreet once said to Bogart, the 5 movies we did together have all been a success. You should consider me a good luck charm. And Bogart said, well, as long as I don't have to carry you around. And I know this because the project is a one-man show as Sidney Greenstreet.
And what drew you to Sidney Greenstreet?
I looked in the mirror and thought, oh my God, I'm beginning to look more and yeah.
Nobody quite like that. But anyway, did he not do a radio show?
He did. At the end of his life, he did The Adventures of Nero Wolfe.
Okay. And of course, it fit him.
Oh yeah.
And I love the Nero Wolfe show.
Oh.
I listen to those on. If you're interested in those old radio shows, go to archive.com and all the shows are there.
Yes. In fact, for Casablanca, Greenstreet was under contract to Warner's at that point, and he was getting, a certain set fee of like $1,700 a week or something when he was making a picture, and Casablanca was only going to give him 2 weeks of work, so he didn't want to do it. But Hal Wallace, the producer, upped it. I think he doubled it and Greenstreet said okay, and. But they were still writing it as they went, and so his 2 weeks stretched into well over a month. So he made a considerable amount off of that one, and he did very well.
The ending of the film was kind of like
Up in the air until the last
up in the
minute.
air till the very end. How are they going
Right.
to end that? And it was a perfect ending. You couldn't have found a better ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. But again, what drew you other than, all right, you looked in the mirror, but there must have been something about.
I just imagined, being a person of a particular size. Here he is working in Hollywood, surrounded by the world's most beautiful women, and feeling perhaps a lack of access. Well, I know what that feels like.
What's like Cuddles, the guy with the little teeth, they used to call him Cuddles.
Right.
Yeah.
That was S.C. Sakal.
Yeah. And you look at him. I mean, he looked like he certainly wasn't a leading, the guy that he.
Not surprisingly,
Everybody loved him, and he was in so many films.
and not surprisingly, he and Greenstreet were the best chefs on the set of Casablanca. Sakal always did Hungarian meals, and his wife was always there to dine with him. I've uncovered an amazing amount of trivia in researching this show.
You're going to do a one-man show.
As Sidney Greenstreet.
As Sidney Greenstreet, are you going to do clips from his movie?
No, it's as if you're in his living room and just getting to hear the story of his life. It's set when he's 70. He doesn't realize it. His film career has ended. He thinks he's going to be in The African Queen. He was asked to do that, but his health wouldn't permit it. So that's. But then we go through his fantastic stage career, which was 40 years of amazing successes before he made his film debut in The Maltese Falcon at the age of 62.
Well, we're going to learn something when we see that show. I hope you do it right here.
This would be a great space.
Great spot to do it. Well, thank you for being on the show.
Well, thank you.
It's been fun to talk to you and get a little bit of your background and seeing, I think we talk food sometimes.
We do.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to just tell you what's coming up in the show next week. By the way, before I end this show, Byron, you're going to be on WOOC radio. I want to thank them for putting you on. That's on the Mohawk Hudson magazine, and it's 105 point whatever, because they have 5 or 6 stations. So this has been a great interview for this. I do want to tell you who's coming on next week, because we're going to be showing.
Hi, I'm Josh.
And I'm Pam.
We're researchers and founders of FIREPAW. FIREPAW is an acronym that stands for the Foundation for Interdisciplinary Research and Education Promoting Animal Welfare.
We're a nonprofit organization with our roots right here in upstate New York.
Our website is firepaw.org. That's FIREPAW.org.
Today we thought we would start with a question. How can we help both companion animals and humans get what they need? One of the answers concerns a topic we are passionate about, keeping companion animals together with their families and reducing the number of companion animals surrendered every year to animal shelters. One way of reaching this goal is to increase the number of pet-friendly rentals.
Keeping companion animals together with their human family members is quite a bit more challenging than one might think. This is evidenced by the fact that millions of companion animals are surrendered every year to animal control shelters, where they're often euthanized, sometimes as soon as a week after being dropped off. Scientific research has shown that housing issues is the second most common reason given for people surrendering their beloved family members to shelters. While it has improved in recent years, unfortunately there is still a shortage of pet-friendly rental housing, including in the upstate New York region. In order to find out why this shortage of pet-friendly rental housing was so pervasive, FIREPAW conducted the first of its kind national scientific research study. We put together the highlights from that study, along with an overview of the importance of keeping pets together with their human families. We would like to show you here.
Pets as social support during the relocation process. Nowadays, many people in the U.S. have companion animals. Recent data from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics indicate that nearly 75% of U.S. households include pets. And the latest figures from the AVMA estimates 80 million households include pets in the United States. Numerous studies, polls, and surveys have demonstrated that the majority of Americans now consider their pets to be members of the family. A recent National Pet Owners Survey indicates that a full 99% of people with pets in the U.S. consider their pets to either be members of the family or valued companions. Companion animals are frequently in the family photo albums, their names included along with other family members on holiday cards, their birthdays celebrated, and the pets receive gifts during the holidays. These days, pets most commonly live inside the house with the rest of the family, frequently sleeping on the bed with family members. They go on vacations with the rest of the family, as well as day trips, walks, picnics, and car rides. In short, for millions of households in the U.S., pets have become an integral part of the American family. Pets is a key source of support during and after the move. If you or someone you know has a pet, and consider this animal as a genuine member of the family, you are likely keenly aware of the emotional support and companionship a pet can bring to the human members of the family. This is especially true during times of stress. Animals' unconditional love and loyalty can have a constant, predictable, soothing effect in the face of chaos. Pets can help ground people during bumpy times, providing a sense of stability when we need it most. Relocation, as we've already seen, can be very stressful. Most people who have moved with their pets report that overall, their pets provided considerable companionship and comfort during the move, helping to speed their adjustment to this considerable life stressor. Pets give their human family members unconditional love, companionship, and loyalty, and help them to keep their priorities in perspective about what is most important in life. It would only be natural that companion animals would provide the same sort of emotional support during the relocation process that they are reported as doing for other significant stressful life events. Scientific research has demonstrated that pets are good for our emotional and physical well-being. Having a pet in the home has been linked with lower blood pressure, decreased risk of depression and anxiety, decreases in somatic complaints, and is enhancing overall well-being of human family members. When it comes to providing a healthy, stabilizing, and loving sense of support during relocation, pets can make a significant difference in helping to reduce stress and illness before, during, and after a move. Pets as casualties of relocation. Sadly, despite the close bonds people have with their furry family members, pets far too frequently become the number one casualty of relocation, surrendered to shelters when the stress and chaos of the move becomes too much. As relinquishment to a shelter can lead to their death, our nation's pets are paying the ultimate price for our mobile society. National studies indicate that relocation is the second most commonly reported reason people abandon their beloved family members at public shelters. Given the record number of pets dumped at public shelters, the ASPCA estimates approximately 7.6 million family pets enter animal shelters nationwide every year. Coupled with the pet overpopulation problem in the U.S., these beloved family members and loyal friends are frequently killed. Approximately 2.7 million are euthanized every year in the U.S., many within a week after being abandoned to the shelter by the people they have come to love and trust to take care of them. This all too common scenario is not only tragic for the animals, but for the human family members as well. Frequently, people experience a lingering and intense guilt, remorse, and sadness after surrendering their pets to a shelter. Such feelings can exacerbate the already stressful experience of relocation. This negative experience can have far-reaching effects for adults and children alike, and can surface in the form of depression, anxiety, anger, and difficulties with interpersonal relationships between family members. Relocation stress can trigger decisions about pets that are later regretted. One common reaction people have during times of great stress, such as when moving, is to make hasty decisions that they regret later. Of all the decisions people make that they later regret, probably the most frequently cited we have heard is the decision to abandon a pet. At times during the moving process, decisions and short-term crises may so overwhelm people that they feel they have no other option but to get rid of their pet. But any relief they may feel at getting rid of the temporary burden will likely be short-lived. Based on our work in this area, it is a decision that has gone on to haunt many people. And if children are living in the home where a pet has been surrendered to a shelter, they are even more likely to have bitter memories of the event. Dumping family pets because they present special challenges during the move or housing search is an all too permanent solution to a temporary hurdle, and one in which raises the risk for increased stress, illness, and injury over the weeks and months that follow. If there are such negative consequences to abandoning companion animals during a move, it begs the question, why would people do it? The most common response to surveys on this topic has been difficulty finding housing that permits pets. The American Humane Association estimates 29% of family dogs and 21% of family cats are surrendered to shelters each year because their place of residence does not allow pets. We have conducted a nationwide scientific study on the issue of pets and housing and have written a book on the topic. The findings of our research illuminated the fact that rental housing in particular, as well as ownership of townhouses and condominiums with homeowner associations, can be notoriously prejudiced against tenants with pets. As our research has demonstrated, however, this prejudice is based on ignorance rather than economic facts. As the results of the study revealed, the majority of rental property owners prohibit tenants to have pets because of their belief that permitting pets will cost them more money than they can ever recoup. However, our statistical findings demonstrated that this is a misperception. In fact, on average, pets cause very little damage, especially when compared to the damage that children and adults cause. Even the highest damage reported in the study was more than covered by the required pet deposit.
Let's review. Our findings demonstrated that the majority of landlords surveyed reported they did not offer pet-friendly rental housing because they believed it would be too costly. However, the results from a national scientific study revealed that this is a misperception, held by those rental property owners. In fact, the cost of damage from pets was low, especially when compared to the damage costs caused by children and adults. Furthermore, the study reveals that any damage that was incurred was more than covered by pet deposits in areas where they were permitted, higher rents and higher deposits overall. There are some cases where property owners' insurance or local ordinances prohibits pets, but where pet-friendly rentals are permitted, landlords can make more money and have less hassles by going pet-friendly.
With pet-friendly rental housing then, rental units remain empty for less time. Landlords have much larger pool of prospective tenants from which to choose from. Damages from pets are more than covered by pet deposits, or in regions where pet deposits are disallowed, then by slightly higher rents and overall deposits. Tenants with pets tend to stay longer than tenants without pets. This minimizes costs and hassles of needing to advertise and to show the units. The data demonstrated that from an economic perspective, it just makes sense for landlords to go pet-friendly.
Overall, it's a win-win situation for everyone. Rental property owners are better off economically by going pet-friendly, and tenants can stay together with their companion animal family members.
With approximately 70% of U.S. households now living with companion animals, it makes good financial sense for landlords to go pet-friendly. In order to assist landlords in making the transition to going pet-friendly, FirePod developed the Companion Animal Renters Program, which includes
our user-friendly book, Pets Welcome: How Landlords Can Make More Money by Going Pet-Friendly. Written for landlords, attorneys, rental property managers, and others in the rental property business, it offers the findings of the National Rental Property Study as well as tools to help landlords make the transition to going pet-friendly an easy one.
There are also tools for tenants with pets, including templates for creating a pet-friendly application to give to prospective rental property managers and owners. Many of the tools are also available on our website, firepod.org. Just click on the Companion Animal Renters button and choose from the pull-down menu.
And be sure to check out our popular videos on pet-friendly rentals. There's one for landlords and another created for tenants moving with pets.
We have also put together some strategies for securing pet-friendly housing and tips for moving with pets that we'll show you here. Depending on what region of the country you are moving to, securing pet-friendly housing can be a bit like playing musical chairs, with far more people seeking housing that accepts their pets than there are units available. But pet owners should not despair, and of course should not give up. If there is one thing we know from years of working with landlords, it is that not all prohibitive pet policies are etched in stone. In fact, for the potential tenant who has done his or her homework, is well prepared with their pet application, training and registration documents, letters of recommendation, a pet resume, proof of spay, neuter, and vaccines, and other documentation, and has come well armed with convincing, logical, and persuasive arguments why his or her pet should be a welcome tenant, especially when pet deposits and slightly higher rent are accounted for, landing the perfect digs may be close at hand. This is not to say that all property owners, rental management heads, or HOA boards can be swayed. In fact, sometimes they might find the idea of having pet tenants quite appealing, but their hands are tied by written policies or insurance company restrictions. So prospective tenants with pets may need to hear quite a few no's before they hit that perfect chord. The following sets of tips and resources will help you get started on that path. Okay, let's review. Number 1, the scientific and economic evidence demonstrates that rental property owners make more money by going pet friendly. Number 2, our book written for rental property owners covers the national study findings plus tools and strategies for successfully going pet friendly.
Number 3, some of the tools are available for free download on our website to assist landlords and rental property managers. Number 4, to get the book for going pet friendly or to watch the educational videos for landlords or for tenants, or to make a donation, visit us at firepod.org.
Thank you for having us back as guests. We love you, Ann Perillo.
Hello, this is